So what is a product backlog? A product backlog is one of the 3 artifacts in Scrum, but the truth is it's used all over the place, not just in Scrum. And it's essentially an ordered list of all the things you believe are needed to both create and improve the product over its life cycle, from creation to the end of life. And that is any and all outcomes you're looking for. And I say outcomes on purpose. Your product backlog really shouldn't contain a whole bunch of tasks. It should be the valuable outcomes that you would like to see delivered that are usable and useful and of value to yourself, the product, and your stakeholders, of course. Customers being included in the stakeholder pool. The tasks, that's what the developers are there for. That's what we're paying them for. That's what they are the best at. Let them figure out the tasks if and when they need them. You, as the owner of the product backlog, you should focus on the outcomes. How does a product backlog differ from traditional ways of doing this? Well, again, it's an ordered list of all the things you want to do, which means it has to, first of all, be ordered. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There can only be one thing that is number 1, which is also why we say it's not prioritized. Priorities are subjective. You can all have number 1 priorities. The trick with a product backlog is that you have to have something that is number 1 and something that is number 10. They are all number 1 priorities, but yes, you do have to tell some poor stakeholder that their number 1 priority, the thing they've been waiting for their whole life, that's number 20 on your list. It's just not good enough at the moment for your product backlog, so it's not higher than that. And that is what makes the product owner role and accountability so difficult. The other thing that differs in a product backlog from traditional way of doing this, like a project charter or the scope of a traditional project, for example, is that it is emergent. The product backlog is not a fixed list. It changes day to day and even throughout the day, and definitely if you're doing Scrum, from sprint to sprint, as you learn more about what is needed to get to where you want to go. And that also means that the order of the items in the list is going to change. I like to call the product backlog our current best guess for what is going to get us to where we want to go. We do not promise every single item. It is just our current best guess of what is going to get us from where we are now to where we're hoping the product is going to be in the future. Pretty simple, but not easy to do. One of the best ones I've seen wasn't my own. I wish I could say that. It was someone else's. It was very nice, neat, compact. It was a beautiful, back in the day when everyone had product backlogs as sticky notes on the wall, and it was wonderful, wonderful. They even had those very expensive magnetic sticky notes, all beautifully formatted and refined, and the flow was fantastic. I'd love to share with you one of the worst ones I've seen. Not worst because of the contents as such, but the sheer scale of it. It was one that I worked with. We started supporting a product owner who had a product backlog of over 6,000 items, which I'm sure you can already realize entirely unmanageable, far too in-depth. And it's because it was incredibly task-focused. And they had worked on this for years and years, and it was incredible in its depth to a point of fault, right? How many hours is this going to take? What skill sets are needed? What parts are needed, etc., etc. When and where are we going to install it? The problem was, it's still a complex problem, so we don't really know what's going to be needed to get us to where we want to go with this product. So all of that detail was actually wasteful. So I worked with the product owner to help them get the product backlog into a more usable format, right? A more useful format. And I just channeled my inner 5-year-old, and I encourage every product owner to do that, or any change agent, agile coach, scrum master, whatever, to challenge their inner 5-year-old when helping a product owner with their product backlog to remove from task focus, or maybe too small of a not so valuable outcome, into slightly more impressive ones. It's a very simple, single word question that every 5-year-old asks, which is why? Why? Install this bolt in that place. Why? To fasten that part to this pipe. Why? So that it doesn't fall on someone's head. Why? Well, because we want better safety. And also, if that part is there, it improves the reliability of the plant as well. Cool. So we actually want better safety and more reliability. Cool. How much? Is it a percentage? Is it a set number? That's the outcome we're looking for. Now we trust the developers to figure out exactly how to get there. And that is the big difference. So over the course of about a year of working with this product owner, because some of these things take time, especially if the scale is 6,000 items, we got it down from 6,000 to just shy of 600. And after that, we kept getting it down. And I think towards the end, by the time I left, it was down to just over 300 items. Much more manageable, still very big, much larger than either of us would have liked it to be, but a big difference between 300 and 6,000. So if you're trying to make a good product backlog, what should you keep in mind? First of all, outcome focused, ordered list. Something has to be number 1, something has to be number 50. No one likes being number 50, but someone has to be. And don't focus on all of it at the same time. Don't spend as much time on item number 50 as you do on item number 1. Item number 1 is likely the one you're going to work on next. Get the one in good order, work with your developers, and refine it to a good point so they think it's ready to be done in the next sprint. And after that, keep working with your stakeholders. Find people that can help you out with refinement. You should be good to go.